Welcome friend. Today we shall see one important scheme which is implemented by the central government in India. The name of the scheme is called Jal Jeveen Mission Jal. This scheme is implemented by the Ministry of Jal Shakti under the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation. This Jal Jeveen Mission is also called JJM. Government of India restructure the ongoing National Rural Drinking Water Programs NRDP into Jal Jeveen Mission to provide functional household tap water connections to every household by 2024. This JJM envisaged supply of 55 liters of water per person per day to every rural household through FSTC by 2024. So this Jal Jeveen Mission, in this Jal Jeveen missions, every household in the rural area or rural villages, every household in rural area will be given 55 liters of water per person per day by 2024. JJM focus on integral demand and supply side management of water at the local level. The most important part of the JJM is it is a community approach to water and include extensive information, education and communication as a key component of the mission. It looked to create a Jan Andolan for water, thereby making it everyone priorities. If we look in the background of the Jal Jeveen Mission, it is not a new term. It was in the 1972 when the central government gave assistance to state for rural water supply begins in 1972 with the launch of Accelerated Rural Water Supply Program. It was renamed as National Rural Drinking Water Program in 2009, which is a centrally sponsored scheme with funds sharing between the central and the state. Under National Rural Drinking Water Program, one of the objectives was to enable all households to have access to and use safe and adequate drinking water within the premises to the extent possibility. So it's 2019. This National Rural Drinking Water also focus on the objective of to give every household to have water connections with the safe and drinking water. When it was launched, it proposed to give to achieve the goal by 2030, but coinciding with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, in 2015, United Nations Sustainable Development Goal proposed a 17th goal to transform the world. So in goal number 6, sanitation and water is also inserted. So to collaborate with the Sustainable Development Goal, Government of India renamed this National Rural Drinking Water Programs into Jal Jeveen Missions to achieve FSTC by 2024 in all rural India by 2024. So as on the 31st March 2019, only 18% of the rural household in India was having the functional household tap water connections. So it is only 3.27 crore out of 17.87 crore rural household in the country have pipe water connection. So the following kinds of work and scheme are proposed to be taken up under the Jal Jeveen Mission. What are some of the works that has to be implemented under this scheme is: number 1, in all village water supply infrastructure for tap water connection to every household. That means in every rural household, the water tank, colony wise, the water tank has to be constructed to give the water supply to every household. Reliable drinking water source development, augmentation of existing source. Suppose if the village has having some water source availability constructed under different scheme from from different land resource departments or some NARICA or whatever scheme or ongoing utilization scheme that is using, that water source has to be augmented, will be joined, right? So to make the reliable drinking water source. Number 3 is transfer of water multi-village scheme where quantity and quality issues are there in the local water sources. Suppose the village are three villages are having a water sources, and you have a 2-3 villages having a water source with the drinking with the same water source. So all these villages will be clubbed up together to give a water supply. If the water is plenty, sufficient to feed to supply to all the villages. That means the transfer of water multi-village scheme where quantity and quality issue are there in the local water sources. Technological interventions for treatment to make water potable. If some village or some rural villages is having a lot of pollution water, suppose pH is high, alkalinity is high, and which is unsafe for the drinking water purpose. So these kinds of water sources has to be informed to the concerned departments, and department will look after the some treatment process, how to make potable water potable, so that it has to be sufficient to make potables, where the quality issue and quantity has to be managed. Retrofittings of completed and ongoing pipe water supply scheme to provide FSTC and raise the service level. This is similarly as a augmentation program. Retrofitting, suppose in 2017-18 your village kit has already been constructed by water tank, and your village is already having a lot of water, you don't have issue. But some households, some colonies are having the problem. So the few villages, few households will be given the pipeline connection under this scheme. That is a retrofittings. So whole the scheme will not be given, but if your village is having 100 household, 50 has been covered up and 50 is not yet covered up, and you need a few water tanks, so that tank will be given a retrofittings, but it has to be survey with the concerned JEs, and the SDO will looking after the project, and the department will manage. Another is grey water management is also a new term for the village people. So this grey water management is also going to implement. I will be discussing grey water management in the next video. So capacity building of various stakeholders. So to give the awareness about the importance of water, about the importance of JGM scheme, importance of water disease related and the sanitations related to water, and the stakeholders and the support activities to facilitate the implementation. That means before the implementation of the project, some trainings will be initiated and to educate the peoples, and IAC message will be implemented in the village in order to make more awareness. And this is also one of the most important parameters under this Jal Jeveen Mission. So the service level delivered by the JGMs. The goal of JGM is to provide the FSTC to every household. Service level of the rate of 55 liter per capita per day. IPCD per capita per day. That is in short form LPCD, right? 55 LPCD. So how is the institutional mechanisms of this JGM scheme? Let me just highlight. In national level, National Jal Jeveen Missions, there is a in national level it is looking after by the secretary level, ministry level. This Jal Jeveen Mission, National Jal Jeveen Missions, and state level SWSM, it is called State Water and Sanitation Mission. It is constituted of the chief engineer to the different stakeholders. And district level, District Water Sanitation Missions. District Water Sanitation Mission, it comprises of executive engineer, deputy commissioner, all will be under this District Water and Sanitation Mission. And in the village level, in Gram Panchayat level, village Samiti, Pani Samiti, village water and sanitation, that is in what is it called, Wachang Committee is called, or user group. So this is how the service delivery under this Jal Jeveen Mission has been structured. I am repeating this: national level Jal Jeveen Missions, National Jal Jeveen Missions, State Water and Sanitation Mission, district water and sanitation mission, and Watchen or council or water and sanitation committee, right? WSC or user group. So this is how the institutional mechanism under this Jal Jeveen Mission is all about. How is the financial implementation or financial implications and funding pattern under Jal Jeveen missions? Total estimate cost of Jal Jeveen is 3.60 lakh crore. This was the initial target to invest in the Jal Jeveen mission when it was first launched by the ministry. But it may increase or decrease. It's up to the ministry. So total estimated cost of Jal Jeveen mission is rupees 3.60 lakh crore. The fund sharing pattern of central and state, Himalayans, and that is Himalayan state, Uttarakhand, Himachal, and other northeast state is 90%, 90 by 10. 90% is through the state central and the 10% by the state government, and the union territory will be 100% from the center, and the rest of the state in India will be 50 by 50%. So this is how the Jal Jeveen Mission funding pattern is being implicated. Fund allocation criteria under Jal Jeveen missions. If you look carefully, I will not be going too much deep on this, but just for your understanding, I will just highlight this. The national allocations of fund among the state has been modified by including the number of left out household connections as additional criteria, with 20% weightage and 100% weightage is given to rural population affected by water quality, thus allowing more fund for quality affected state. The state can utilize the fund under the Jal Jeveen mission for taking up scheme in quality effect area on priority. So if we look here, this is table number 1 is criteria, table number 2 is as per the National Rural Drinking Water Program, which was launched in 2009, and as per the Jal Jeveen mission. So rural water, as per last census, 40% has to be covered by National Rural Drinking Water Program and 30% by the Jal Jeveen mission. Rural ST and ST populations 10%, 10. State under DDP and DPAR and specified category hill state. It is all the hilly state in the India in rural area. 40% by National Rural Drinking Water Programs and 30% Jal Jeveen mission. So population as per the Integrated Management Information System, that is called IMIS, residing is in habitation affected by chemical contamination included heavy metals. When we talk about the heavy metals, it is like a chloride, fluoride, nitrite. All these are heavy metal, or cadmiums. These are heavy metals. So it has to be 40%, 10% by 10, right? So weakness of balanced individual household connections to be provided, nil and 20%. So this is how the fund allocation criteria under the Jal Jeveen missions. This is just for your reference. So Jal Jeveen mission will ensure the functional household tap water connection to every household, as there is a demand that exists and people inspire for household pipe connection supply. It will significantly improve quality of life, particularly for women and children. So if you see in the most of the rural areas in India, we see many women and the children's pregnancy, lactating women, they carry water for the day-to-day life. So government is initiated this scheme to reduce such work, so it improve the quality of life. If the functional tap water connection is being implemented, they will not go for the fetching of the water. So this is one of the important things, particularly for women and children, and access of open defecation free sustainability, as water is important to sustain Swachh Bharat mission can. So Swachh Bharat mission is also one of the important scheme that I have already highlighted. So it is also been implemented since 2014 to 2019 was the first phase, where all the village in the country is make open defecation free, and the SPM2 ODF plus is going on. That is a second phase, that is 2020 to 2024. All the village is going to make ODF plus village. So to make the village ODF plus sustainability, water is important source, because without water there is no cleanliness, there is no sanitation free. So water is also an important component to achieve the sustained SPM, Sustainable Development Goal. The Swachh Bharat Mission. So in the rural area, if we see for development in village water supply infrastructure, water resource management, source strengthening, accommodation, distribution network, treatment plants, etc., unskilled and semi-skilled and skilled human resource will be required. So while implementing these such kinds of work, semi-skilled, unskilled, and other skilled resource will be required for making of this infrastructure. Further, there will be procurements of various material for water supply system. This generate employment and post-economic. In order to instill the sense of ownership among the community, user group for better implementation, and so even if the construction of the water supply in the or the tank construction or functional tap water is connected in the village, it has to be utilized. So some user group like in the village level watching committee are there to look after the scheme, so and maintenance, because the government will not come every year, every week, every day to make the maintenance. So once the scheme is implemented, once the infrastructure has been fitted or pipe has been fitted, the department will give the authority to the watching committee or user group or in the village council, so they will be looking after the maintenance and operation, so that it will be used for the long-term benefit of the community. So community will contribute toward in overall scheme. When the project has been implemented, the 10% of the capital cost, suppose your village is 1 crore. Your village is selected under the scheme, and it is under Jal Jeveen scheme. 10 lakh has been target. So in that 10 lakh, 1 lakh has to be contributed by the community in terms of cash also, or in terms of labor in the village. So in most of the village, what I have seen is, when the community is being implemented, they cannot give the money, but they can help in the loading and unloading of the pipe. They carry the pipe to the village in order to connection for the connection purpose. So this is how the labor charge community will colony wise they will give. Council will look after the labor to be contributed for the success of the scheme. So even if we give 100%, if the department give lot of money also, if the community do not participate in the scheme will not be success. That's why the government have give 10% has to be contributed through the community in the form of cash or in the labor. So village, except for the hilly and the forest area, Northeast India and the Himalayan state, and village having more than 50% SC and the social caste and social tribe population, whereas community contribution toward 5% of the total capital cost. So this is how the community has to be give to assist the village community in village water resource management and water supply related infrastructure. Some NGOs, non-voluntary organization, or some SSG under National Rural Livelihood Mission, etc., will be associated as partner to facilitate the community in awareness creation, capacity building, planning, and implementation the scheme. So in every district there will be one or more NGOs, that is implementing support agency. It is also called ISA, implementing support agency. So these NGOs, it is just that they are support agency to the department. They will be messengers on the scheme. They will come and give some training informations related to the scheme and give IAC messages training, and they also even help department in making of village action plans and different planning. This is how some NGOs will also be used by the government to achieve this scheme. They will also be mobilized the local community, that means villagers, firm up the inspiration and handhold them to resource mapping as participator approach, and decentralized planning will hold the key for long-term sustainability and operation and maintenance of the system. So the ISA is also one of the key one of the very important NGOs that help for the implementation of the project. This Jal Jeveen Mission will focus on integral demand of water supply management of water to local level. I've already told, including creation of local infrastructures for source sustainability like rainwater harvesting, groundwater research, and management of household wastewater for reuse will be undertaken in convergence with other government programs. For targeted delivery and monitoring of specific outcomes, every functional tap connection is to be linked with the Aadhaar number of the head of the household subject to statutory provision. So when this project implementation is going on, in the departments or J's will ask the villagers, all the head of the village, head of the household in all the villages, the Aadhaar card will be collection, and this Aadhaar will be uploaded in the IMI's website, because IMI's website, to make sure that they have already connected the water supply. So this is how the Aadhaar number has to be linked in the FSTC, in the IMI's website, in the ministry website. So every assist created under JHM will be geotech. That means the water tank, your water resources, everything will be geotech through the State will carry out the inspection by, there will be some monitorings or third-party monitoring will be implements. Suppose your village has selected and it has been constructed, so whether it has been actually constructed as per the guidelines or not, it will be implemented by some third party. Third party is other than the department will implement, and some monitoring department from state level, central level, and the district level monitoring agency will be inspection for the all the infrastructure created under the Jal Jeveen Mission. So the government of India will carry out the functionality assessments of scheme based on which fund will be made available to state or union territory based on their performance. There are people who will like to contribute and donate voluntarily. So in this scheme, if some people or some influential people, some big NGOs or some MLAs, some local MLAs or local MPs, if they want to contribute voluntarily, they can even contribute for the achievement of this scheme. That is also important. To facilitate this, Rashtriya Jal Jeveen Cost will mobilize the accept donation contribution received from various sources to fund. So in national level, this is one NGOs are there. Rashtriya Jal Jeveen Cost will mobilize and accept donation contribution received from various sources to fund the Jal Jeveen Mission. So these are some of the important things that the Jal Jeveen Mission that we have to know. So this Jal Shakti Ministry, the government created this Jal Jeveen Ministry. Let us look some important points on this Jal Shakti Ministry. The government has created a new ministry that is called Jal Shakti Ministry after merging Ministry of Water Resource, River Development and Ganga rejuvenation along with drinking water and sanitation. So this Jal Shakti Ministry will encompass issues ranging from providing clean drinking water, international and interstate water dispute. So this ministry will look after the international level related to the water and the interstate water dispute. If some state is having a water boundary issue, this ministry will look after. And the Namami Ganga project, which is a very important project that I will be covering in later on in some videos. So Namami Ganga project is also covered under Jal Shakti Ministry, aimed at cleaning Ganga and its tributaries and sub-tributaries. So this ministry will roll out the government's ambitious plan Nal Se Jal scheme under the Jal Jeveen plan to provide pipe water connection to every household in India by 2024. So objective of Jal Jeveen missions, there is this Jal Jeveen missions, there is need for tap water connection in every household under the scheme. That means JHM. Revalidation exercise of household and status of tap water found that out of 19.04 crore rural households in the country, this is 17 actually. This is 17, and 3.23 crore household have tap water connection, and 15 crore household have to be provided functional tap water. So apart from that, 11,000 crore in the budget and 12,000 crore has been allocated from extra budgetary allowance. The 50% of the rupees 60,750 crore allocations by the 15 Finance Commission. So this is important for the rural local bodies, is tied up to grant the water bodies and sanitation. So 15 Finance Commission will also come into pictures of this Jal Jeveen missions. Let us see how much this scheme will success. So this is one pictures in the it has been implemented in the Nagaland. This is one village that is called Mangangke village. Har Jal Jeveen mission has been implemented, and this is how the infrastructure has been constructed. The water has not been fitted yet. The ongoing scheme is going on. This is the logo. The JJM logo has to be printed out and department. So this is how the project is ongoing in Nagaland and as well as in the rest of the country. So in this way, we shall discuss. In upcoming video, I will be discussing one important scheme. So please like my video, share, and comment. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Have a nice day.